Hi, this is Pete from FMI Enterprises. I'm an auto dealer here in Southern California since 2003, and today I have for you a beautiful 2002 Porsche 911 Coupe with sunroof. Car's in good shape all around, not perfect, but it's a nice driver. It's got the 3.6 liter engine. It's got a clear Carfax, which I have in my hand. I've got a lot of service records from the previous owner who owned it since it had 90,000 miles on it. It's had a lot of things done at the dealer to it, which I have the service records for, including a water pump within the last 10,000 miles. It had spark plugs. It had transmission mounts and engine mounts, front and rear. It had coil packs done at 88,000 miles. It had valve lifters done at I think about 10,000 miles ago. And I have all the receipts for this work. That was a big receipt, as you can imagine. And I've got over $13,000 worth in receipts just in the last 30,000 miles. Anyway, the car was looked after for sure. The paint, like I said, is in good shape. I'm going to do a walk around here and give you guys a condition report on the body condition and paint condition. So first off, I believe the car is mostly original paint. I think the front bumper may have been repainted, which is not uncommon. They take most of the damage from driving around, but it looks good. It's got a little stress crack below here. Tiny little stress crack you can't see really unless you're really looking for it. You've got some tiny little scratches underneath from parking blocks and whatnot, but not so bad. All the splash guards are intact. Hood looks very good. Got some tiny little rock nicks here and there. If you look around, you'll see some little rock nicks, which is pretty common for a car 16 years old with the miles it has on it. But anyway, the hood's very straight. The left front fender looks good, it's straight. The mirror looks good. It's got some tiny little rock nicks on it. Driver door looks good. Left rear quarter looks good. It's got a tiny little scuff right there. Rear bumper looks good. Underneath looks clean. The rear main seal was done at 88,000 miles. Spark plugs were done about 10,000 miles ago. So obviously it had new cam cover seals at that time. It had some other things done to it, which are on the invoices. The rear deck is good. The rear brake light. Got a tiny little scratch right there. So there's some very minor things wrong with the paint, I think. My opinion, I guess. The right rear quarter looks good. It's got a little scuff right there. Tail lenses look good. It's got a tiny little crack right there, which is pretty common on these cars for some reason. It must be like a stress area on these. A little crack right there. That one. Yeah, right door looks good. Tiny little door ding. Right front fender looks good. So overall, it's a very straight car, which I believe to be all original paint except for this front bumper. That being said, I would probably rate this car condition-wise probably about an 8 out of a 10 maybe. It's got a little door ding right there. That's the one I was looking for. It's very, very small, but it's a very straight car. The Pirelli P0 tires, I have the receipt for these. There's a little door ding right there as well. I have a receipt for these tires. They have about 10,000 miles on them, and the Falcons, I do not have the receipt for the Falcons, but they look very good as well. Probably about 70% remaining, 60-70% in the front. The rears only have 10,000 miles on them, and I have the receipt. I like these wheels. Wheels look very nice. Brake pad probably looks about 70% in the rear, and the front pad about the same. You can see the pad right there is plain as day. A ton of pad in the front, and all the service was done at the dealer in this car, so only Porsche parts were used. Wheel over here looks clean. Small little spot of rash right there. And of course this is the curb side, so you have a little spot of rash right there. But overall not so bad. The headlights, you got the little bit of a, looks like they may have recoated these with clear, and some of that clear is peeling off right there on that side and this one as well. So the headlights could use a professional refinishing, but there's no cracks in them, and they look pretty good. I mean, they work just fine. So that's about it for the exterior. It's got current California registration to November 2018. Emblem looks good. And this midnight blue metallic is a very nice color. I like it. It has these little, dent guards in the back of the doors. Interior's in nice shape. Factory seats, I believe these are all original. Look good. There's no holes in them. Non-smoker car. Does not smell like cigarettes. This one looks good as well. And the rear seats look like brand new. Of course, most of these do, especially on the coupes, since they don't get any water leakage like the convertibles. The rear of the seats, nice shape. It's got multi-position power seats, front, back, recline. Carpeting's in very nice condition all around, no holes in the carpet. I've got the floor mats, which I'll show you in a minute. They're in the trunk. You can see here the mileage, 124,747. It comes with one key here, and the alarm works fine. Keyless entry all works. It's got the this car has a carbon fiber kit on it. As you can see, it's pretty high quality. It's not just the cheap stick-on stuff. Probably got some real carbon fiber in here, and it looks good. There's a couple of spots, which I'll show, that are starting to lift up around the windshield, but you can see it's pretty decent all around. The radio sounds good. Start it up. So the radio sounds good. And this one has a CD player. AC blows cold. You can see the LED works nice. AC works good. I've got the original owner's manuals right here, and I've got all the service records that I mentioned. Probably about 6 different service records. Porsche of downtown Los Angeles, and so these all come with it. And I mean, there's a couple of really big invoices here, from the dealer. They charge all the money, and they do. So the carbon fiber I wanted to mention right here, it's got a little bit of starting to come up there on the front corner. and this spot right there looks pretty decent. The rest of it looks good. But this you can almost take a heat gun and just melt it back down and kind of make it work, because the rest of it's all in pretty good shape. The power windows work. As I said, I have an invoice for the driver's side regulator that was redone at the Porsche dealer, so that works perfectly. What else? The carpeting over here looks excellent. The passenger seat looks excellent. Headliner looks very good. It's the suede headliner. Looks really nice. The sunroof tilts up. Goes back. And voila, you have a nice sunroof. Okay. All the gauges work, everything reads properly. It's got the floor mats right here. Got the drivers, you've got the passenger, and I only have one of the rear floor mats that comes with it. But anyway, not like anybody's going back there to ride anyway. But so I have one rear floor mat. It's got the CD changer. The little cover here is cracked, but it's got the magazine inside of it and everything. There's the paint code L39C. So yeah, the struts are in good shape. Hold up the hood, no problem. It's got this aftermarket cover here over the door jambs, and as you can see, it's it's older and it got cracked right there. But I figured, probably just keep it on and just peel the rest of this off, and it would look just fine. It's got an aftermarket K&N intake on it. It runs really good. Like I said, it had the valve lifters done about 10,000 miles ago. The dealer did that. It has a new water pump, motor mounts, transmission mounts, spark plugs. The coil packs were done at 88,000 miles. It's got a new vacuum tank that was also done at 88,000 miles. So it's a good running car. It's 3.6 liter. That's good. Good engine. And the rear main seal was done as well at 88,000 miles. Now I know the next question most of people are asking is, was the IMS done? Well, I don't see that on the invoice, but for whatever reason they didn't do it. Maybe they inspected it and they thought it was good. So at this point the car has 124,000 miles, and here we are. It's going strong, and that's that. The car handles good. It's got a really nice set of tires on it. Drives straight. The car was last at the dealer at 116,000 miles, and they did, they inspected, they recommend all these things it needs to have done. Car gets up and goes, it runs strong, transmission shifts smooth, no hard shifts or anything like that. It's got Tiptronic on the steering wheel here. You saw the brakes. The brakes are in excellent shape. There's a lot of pad left. So I think the car is ready for its next owner. It's a pretty nice little car. And if you have any questions, give me a call. I can email this Carfax here to you. It shows all the service throughout the years. So the car, yeah, it shows all the service records. And the car's been around a bit. It started out in Florida and went around. But I can go over all this. I'll have this up on the in the image section of the advertisement. But these are all the service records. Each and every one of these service done to the car, and there's 41 records. So there's a lot of records with this car. Not to mention the hard copies that I have that shows right here, starting at let's see, at about 88,000 miles when it hit California in 2013. Porsche downtown Los Angeles, and a lot of the major service was done starting when the previous owner from myself owned the car. So that's it. If you have any questions, give me a call. My number's in the advertisement. All right, thank you.